thoughts of Mike Steph, this marks a new beginning. Thanks for supporting a total reinvention. The soul is still here, but the vibe's a little different. Unpredictable, hide the kids and the women. Sports of all sorts, music, mixed for living. Rep New York City, but ain't the politician. Always bring the heat, Steph baking in the kitchen. Big shout to y'all, I appreciate the listen. Donnie put the rest, but I'm still in the best. In the word of what I do, all y'all know the rest. I live it, I breathe it, I'm the whole definition. The pinnacle, the ultimate, I'm on a new mission. The salty thoughts of Mike Steph, featuring the one and only Mike Steph, the best in the world of what he does. Tap in. What up, people? Welcome to another edition. If I ever get myself on the screen, welcome to another edition. No, not just another edition. Yo, episode number 5. Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph, featuring the one and only Mike Steph, best in the world at what he does. Not only that, yeah, everything is so discombobulated as usual. I don't know. One of these weeks, one of these episodes, I will actually get all the kinks out. I will actually get all the gremlins that's in the machine out, and we will actually have a nice seamless transition when I first start. Trust me, StreamYard slander is on deck. Not as much as in the past, but it's on deck. One thing that I do have to say up top, if you haven't actually seen the title of this week's episode, and yes, I'm going to be talking in terms of the YouTube, even though I love all of my followers, all of my original listeners, all of my saltiopaths that do listen to the mothership, the flagship, if you will, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and the formerly named Anchor.fm. So when I say, can you see? Do you see? Yeah, I'm really talking about the YouTube. So just follow me. If you haven't seen the title of this episode, it's what I call the wrestling-centric episode. Now, there used to be a saying whenever I previewed the NFL, previewed the NBA, both regular season and postseason / playoffs. And when I previewed or reviewed wrestling under the pre-iteration of this Salty Thoughts podcast, you know, the Salty Thoughts of Donnie Ooh, I used to entitle it Donnie's Half-Ass Blah, Blah, Blah. Being the fact that I'm trying to actually give a little bit more care, be a little bit more professional, I've done away with the moniker half-assed. I've thrown it in the garbage or thrown it behind a curtain for use possibly in the future, but not right now. I'm going to entitle this WrestleMania 39 recap, Mike's, yes, and Mike Steph, Mike's off the top WrestleMania 39 recap. Yeah, it doesn't have the same, you know, just doesn't have the same spark as Donnie's half-assed, but it is what it is. Working me here. And when I say off the top, I mean off the top of the dome, off the top of the head, pretty much freestyle. Or as the Mojo King would entitle it, stream of consciousness. Because I wrote a couple notes. I do have a couple trusty ass notes, but it's more like a guideline just so I can remember not to leave anything out in my recap. And with all that being said, I swear, one of these weeks I'll actually get it right. This is the intro. I'm going to take you inside the mind of what I was trying to accomplish this week, what I wanted to accomplish this week, and it actually started from last week. Because in my excitement of having such of having such enjoyment in recording last week's episode, I neglected to let the masses know in advance that this was going to be a wrestling only entity this week. I forgot to let people know that WrestleMania was coming this week. So to be on the lookout. One of my day one listeners, my bro, Smitty from the group home in Bergen Beach. Yeah, this is one of his favorite episodes. You want to know why? Because these are the episodes that he don't listen to. Because he really don't give a F about wrestling. Especially, I know he's probably like, hold on, let me get this straight. It's opening day week of Major League Baseball. You are an amazing fan. You are a Mets fan. And you're not going to talk or discuss anything about baseball this week? That would be correct. I'm not talking about baseball whatsoever this week. I'm going to talk about my wrestling because WWE bless the masses and something they've been doing since the onset of the pandemic in 2020. They've split WrestleMania into 2 days. Night 1 on Saturday, night 2 on Sunday. And I love it because to me, WrestleMania is like my version or the wrestling version of Super Bowl. So not only do I have one day to look forward to, I have a whole weekend to look forward to. And especially since SmackDown comes on Friday, pretty much you got Friday Night SmackDown / Hall of Fame ceremony. Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, you have the NXT Stand and Deliver that used to be the NXT Takeover. And then Saturday evening, you have night 1. And then Sunday, you got the granddaddy of them all, night 2. So it's a whole weekend. And I put in, and I made sure I was available the majority of this whole weekend. But you know what happened? I'll tell you what happened. I tell y'all, nothing ever goes according to plan when it comes to Mike Steph. Ever. But even though I said that, there's no anger whatsoever because I actually was able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak. Now, my shoe job, those who know, those who don't, let's just say I work for the public in New York City in a glass box. That's all I'll say. As I take a nice swig from this pineapple ginger organic, I'll let you know who it's sponsored by. Well, who the glass is sponsored by anyway. Yes, it's non-alcoholic. Told you, straight edge. I got the screwdriver without the screw. Or should I say I got the screwdriver without the driver? Whatever, pretty much, yeah. It's just pineapple and ginger. Anyway, my shoe job has been on some BS lately. Pretty much BS since my last, shoot, who knows. But to get us Friday, Saturday, or Sunday at my shoe job, to get a day off approved, you got to pretty much put in 2 months in advance. Now, I know there was no way in hell that I was going to miss WrestleMania due to my shoe job. That wasn't going to happen. So, beginning of February, I said, you know what? I'm off Sunday, Monday, regardless. Put it in that Saturday. Got the whole weekend. Got a 3-day weekend. Watch Friday. Watch Friday, how I do things on Fridays. Got Saturday off. Got Sunday off. Got Monday off to watch the Raw after WrestleMania, which is damn near almost a pay-per-view in itself because there's always surprises out the ass, right? And wow, 10-minute mark, and that's the first time I uttered a curse. Go me. Anyway, so I put in for it. Got it. Great. Now, March is my wife's birthday month. And she celebrates the whole month. As you should. So, unfortunately for me, unfortunately for my wife, there was 2 get-togethers in the last month. One for her birthday, one just for the fact of, like doing things as a couple, that I was unable to go to because they fell on a Saturday and I couldn't get the day off. But most importantly, it was her own birthday dinner, not on her birthday, but her own birthday dinner that couldn't get off. Had to go to work. So I got in at the end and and made the best of it. But yeah. So that's my long-winded way of saying one of her close friends, from a colleague of hers, decided to give her an additional birthday dinner or dinner in her honor at her colleague's house. It was supposed to happen last Saturday, March 25th, a week after her own birthday dinner. Due to neither here or there, I don't know, but regardless, it was pushed back 1 week to April 1st. When I first saw it, now I already knew I had the day off. When I first saw it, I was like, oh shit. This is the dilemma. This is a big dilemma. The dilemma is I'm off April 1st for WrestleMania Saturday. My wife has a dinner in her honor on WrestleMania Saturday. Due to the advent of streaming, I have the option to actually just watch it on delay. When I get home, try to make sure the majority of the day I stay clear of spoilers, and I'm good to go. Right? And I know I shouldn't have started this because this is actually something I got to do, and I can't do it. That's freaking great. Oh, I'm so upset. But maybe this will make sure I get straight to the point. Anyway. This is what I get for procrastinating. Once again, do you know how long I've actually had to set up before I press record? About an hour. I'll be bullshitting. I'll be watching videos. I'll be watching sometimes. Well, actually today I started watching some of the Michael K show, get my sports take. And then I just said, all right, let me do this, let me do that, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I had the option on watching it on replay. So I told my wife if we could have it. So I was like, babe, I got a surprise. Do you want to know it now? Or do you want to know it Saturday? Because I can't keep a surprise for nothing, secret for nothing, especially with my wife. I'm just so happy to let her know. She said, well, you know what? Let me know it now. So I said, well, guess what? I'm off Saturday. She said, how you off Saturday? I'm like, I put it in for it. Oh, you did? Well, I had it off for like the last 2 months. I didn't know you were going to have some plan. So I decided, all right. I am going to be so magnanimous with my time that I am going to bestow you and everybody with my presence on your day. WrestleMania Saturday be damned. It turned into WrestleMania early Sunday morning. But the thing is, WrestleMania, each night is about 3.5, 4 hours long. So I was able to duck and dodge. Well, at least out of the first 7 matches, I was ducking, dodging. And I only got spoiled for 3 of them, which good percentage. And I was able to watch it. But, and here's the point 15 minutes into this podcast. The point being, oh, shoot. There's something else I forgot? Wow. Anyway, the point being, I had full intention on giving y'all 2 episodes this week. I was going to go live probably after night 1. And then night 2, I'll do my regular and make sure it was uploaded by Monday morning. Being the fact that I couldn't start watching it until about 1 a.m. Sunday morning, late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. It was 5:30 in the morning when I finished. And I had to get up, take care of some business. And there was no way in hell I was watching 8 hours of wrestling in one day. Bad enough, I ain't gonna lie. During the main event, I went to watch it with my daughter Kay. Main event Kay. And I made the mistake of kind of laying on the bed, and I'm like, and it had nothing to do with the actual action. It was just your boy was tight. So that's why you're getting this episode 12 hours later than expected, 12 hours later than I really wanted to, and just 12 hours late. Period. But yeah, Saturday we had a great time. Which did some karaoke. Sang to my wife. Can you stand the rain? Can you stand the rain? Some make good. Everybody loves them. Come on, baby. Can you stand the rain? Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I did a little karaoke. Make sure that there was more things wet than the ground of the rain. I wanted to make sure. And this is me kind of embellishing a little bit. She was able to stay in the rain. You can't stop the rainbow. You can't stop the rain when it starts to fall. When it starts to fall. Yeah, I'm gonna have fun on this episode. I really don't care because before I get everything up and running. Matter of fact, no, you come here. Listen. I don't care about all that. This is my daughter. This is my oldest daughter, Tamia. Because she heard my attempts to sing sounded like a cat in heat or something like that. That's why you came in here, or the subject matter?
I was like, we singing now? When you sing on your podcast?
Oh, shoot! You've never heard one of my episodes that I used to do in my car studio. Mm-mm. No, you haven't. See, even my daughter doesn't even listen to my archive.
That's not fair. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Anyway, yeah, but in the past, when I would do it in my car studio, that's why I call doing my podcast in my car. Mm-hmm. I would turn on BLS right before I started recording, and sometimes 9 times out of 10, about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, so they got the quiet storm, and I'm like, oh, and they have a little tune. I'll sing my little thing. Yeah, your Aunt Kim loved my voice. Really? Yeah, this is so impromptu. Yes. Wow. She's like, brother, you can sing.
She's so supportive.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. I'm talking about Sister Ooh. Ooh, and yeah. Well, if y'all heard her, you heard it. But yeah, I usually don't say names. But yeah, I guess anyway. But yeah, I'm talking about Sister Ooh. But yeah, she loves my voice. She's probably neck and neck with your mom as my number 1 fan of my podcast.
You know what? That's great. I love that for you.
Do you hear sarcasm dripping off her mouth?
I'm not being sarcastic. Great. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
What do you want me to
Huh?
Do not do that. Cut the camera. Cut the camera.
Look, we're gonna still be recording, but I'll cut the camera. See, camera down, so they don't have to see. You can come. They can still hear you though.
Why are you doing?
Well, I'm doing what? Listen. This is great. This is great content.
Wow.
Wow, what?
I love you.
I love you too.
I'll leave you alone.
You don't have to leave me alone. She said bye. Yeah, see, now I'm back on the screen because, shoot, one thing I swear, she's scared of the camera. I don't know why. My daughter's beautiful, but I guess because she's not up to her. Anyway, yeah. So she done got me all off thoughts, but that's what we knew. That's what we're supposed to expect on the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph. Expect the unexpected. So yeah, this week I'll be talking about, or I'll be giving y'all the off the top of the head WrestleMania 39 recap. And I do have a couple trusty ass notes in my memo pad that I will be using. But one of the things that I would be remiss in doing before I get this show up and running is I gotta let y'all know just who in the hell I be. Mike Steph, the Spousal Chief. Not only am I the Spousal Chief, I'm the head of the bed. Yes, not the head of the table, the head of the bed. Listen, I got a whole list of nicknames I'm gonna give myself. Not only am I the Spousal Chief and the head of the bed, I'm the Crown Heist Nightmare. Shout out to the loser at the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. You know how the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns, you're undisputed, WWE Undisputed Universal Champion, has a whole litany of names. I do too. You know how I used to say he's the needle mover? But guess what? I came up with a little ditty myself. I'm the clitoris mover. Shoot. Remember, and this is for all my Roman Reigns fans out there, all my Bloodline fans, put the ones up. Put the ones up. I'm actually glad. No, matter of fact, I'm not going to say that. It's a good thing because my daughter, Main Event K, as in Main Event J, Main Event K, chose to refrain from giving her 2 cents this week, this edition, on what happened. And one thing about when I have my youngest daughter on the pod that kind of keeps me in line, I don't go over the line. I don't go too outrageous. So, because of course, like if my daughter's on here, she's 16, and she tells her friends about the pod, then I don't want to have like questionable language on there, questionable subjects on there, questionable themes on there. But the fact that Main Event K decided to abstain from being on, I'm going full throttle. Remember when Roman Reigns had the t-shirt, wreck everyone and leave? Well, guess what? I need to come out with a t-shirt that says the following: Mike Steph, wreck the pussy and leave. Oh! Acknowledge me. No, don't acknowledge me. Acknowledge these nuts, that is. Yeah, I'm on a roll. I'm giving y'all my salty thoughts from my humble abode. Not only do we call this my humble abode, you know how Roman Reigns has his island of relevancy? Well, guess what? Mike Steph has his apartment of relevancy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pay rent every damn month to keep it relevant. Because if there's no rent, there's no relevancy. And last but not least, before I actually get this show on the way, or should I say start my topic number one, it all started, the Bloodlines drama all started when you had the Usos. Yes, Solo. You had the Tribal Council, Paul Heyman, and the Tribal Chief himself, Roman Reigns, along with Sami Zayn. And Sami was upset that Jay wasn't feeling him and said, Jay, you're not feeling Usi? You're not feeling Usi? Hopefully, later on tonight, when I finish recording this, or before I go to bed, I will have the snapback box, the sponsor. Yes, 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 Tyler. Yes, my sponsor is still the Lewis snapback box, only available in this here apartment of relevancy, especially in my bed that I'm the head of. But hopefully, before the end of the night, I will have my wife feeling Uzi. You would think I'll be drinking, right? I've been drinking. No, the fuck I haven't. This drink, this rocks glass, is sponsored by my bro, who I should have just saved for later, but I'm doing it now and I'll do it later because I'll be finished with this drink. I don't know if y'all can see the logo. Body, more bottles on YouTube. Like and subscribe. What the fuck? Yeah, man. All right, let's get this shit on the way, right? Topic number one, in all seriousness, topic number one, as you can read, and if you can't read, I'll read it for you. The tribal chief retains. Oh, hell, the bloodline. Man, I was actually speechless. And before I got sidetracked and just started going on a tangent, right, left. Yeah, I haven't even said that word in 4 freaking episodes. Tangent. But that's exactly what happened the last 10 minutes. I just went on a tangent and ran with it. But before I went on that tangent, what I really meant to do for the last part of the intro was to let y'all know I was going, like I said, I was going to try to plan. I was planning on doing it live, and just stuff happened. I had everything set up yesterday, last night, and my laptop decided, yeah, guess what? I want to update everything. By the time I finished updating, I was like, yo, fuck this. I'll just wait until tomorrow. But it's a good thing that my laptop decided to play games with me, to play tricks with my mind. My mind's playing tricks on me. Because how I felt last night is a little bit different than how I felt when I got up this morning. Me and main event K, we watched the last match together between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. It was pretty much a foregone conclusion in a lot of people's minds. And no, I'm not showing you my my chest. I'm going to show you. When I say I'm bloodline, I'm bloodline. But even with me being bloodline, I ain't gonna lie. To me, it was a foregone conclusion that Cody Rhodes is gonna win. You know, there was so many things leading up. Remember, his express purpose. And I believe I'm going to give credit. I believe where credit is due to Mr. Brad Winchester, the designer of my spiffy border, the designer of my logo, and most importantly, one half of Gimmick Infringement with Tyler McDowell on the 19 Media Group YouTube page. I saw his episode this morning, and of course, just the osmosis shit comes to my mind. And it actually kind of got me thinking. But Cody's express purpose when he came back to the E was to win the championship that eluded his pops, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. You know what just popped in my head? Another nickname. He was the American Dream. I'm the Crown Heights Cream. This is so explicit. Anyway. But yeah, back on topic. His express purpose to come back to the E was to win the championship that eluded his pops, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. That was his story. Pretty much it ended up being his tagline in the lead up from Royal Rumble to last night. Finish the story, right? That was his story. So much so that everybody believed it was a foregone conclusion he was going to win. What's Roman Reigns' story? People forget. Roman Reigns' story is going on. Matter of fact, this summer, this August will be beginning of the 4th year of Roman Reigns' story. I believe. No, 3 years. He came back in 2020. All new everything. All new teeth. New attitude. New focus. New importance of family. And in a lot of his interviews leading up to this week, especially the Ariel Helwani interview that he had that dropped, I believe, yesterday afternoon of WrestleMania Sunday. He made a point to emphasize the fact that this successful run that he's been going on 3 years straight. He main evented WrestleMania in 2021, 2022 against Brock, and last night. 3 straight main events in the same reign. And he made a point to say when he came back, his express purpose was not so much for him to be the one, for we, meaning his family, the Usos, Solo eventually, for we to be the ones. He said that was the most important thing. I wasn't gonna shine by myself. All right, fine. I'm in this position. Guess what? I'm gonna use my position to bring my family along. And you can't do nothing but respect that. That's been his story. His story is far from over. Yeah, I know, The Rock was supposed to come, Rock backed out, blah, 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 blah. But that had really nothing to do. That would have advanced the story, but that wouldn't have been the end of the story. Cody's story started last year. If Cody wins last night, what happens? What happens? Cody's nightmare became true. At least for the time being. If Cody wins, and I was talking to my daughter earlier. And I'm going to be all over the place, so forgive me, but I'm quite sure you're going to be able to follow me. If Cody won last night, as expected, who does he have lined up for him? Who is prepared to have a rivalry with him? I should have known. Once Gunther retained the IC strap, Roman was going to win. Because, yes, if anybody goes back to the Royal Rumble, the last 7 to 10 minutes, it was Cody and Gunther, number 1 and number 30, going at it in almost an epic like fashion. And Cody overcame Gunther to win. But that they left crumbs on the table for them to pick up later on when Cody is the champion. If Gunther is still the IC champion, there's no reason for this rivalry right now. Even if Cody got the strap, Gunther still has his strap. Listen, which go WWE, very seldom do they do champion versus champion, like IC versus, no, they usually don't. Unless it's a very special occasion. So who else would have been lined up for Cody on the heel side? Seth is a face right now. Was it going to be him? Already took out Gunther. Who else is there? If you take the bloodline out of the equation, who is left for Cody? Drew? I believe Drew is going to turn heel. Perhaps. But then you still have to build them up. He's going to be the first challenger? Okay, fine. Cody's having a long reign. You can't go from 2.5 years to a quickie reign. He devalues the title just that quick. But if the tribal chief retains, world of possibility is still open. The world is still Roman Reigns' oyster. Newfound conflict. Sami and KO, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens defeated the USOS in the main event of night 1. Main event Jay opened his mouth and accepted the challenge a couple weeks ago. Remember, Jimmy was like, look, y'all ain't even a tag team. Yeah, I ain't give y'all didn't deserve a shot. And Jay like, nah, this is the perfect time for us to be able to put them in the dirt. Yeah, you got it. Already in his head, he the man. You really think Roman like that? You really think Roman appreciated that? Roman in his mind, even if he didn't say it, in his mind was like, all right, since you the big shot, better make sure you get the job done. Since you want to be calling your shots, make sure you get the job done. Guess what? Jimmy and Jay, especially Jay, did not get the job done. When you open up Raw tonight, or when you open up SmackDown on Friday, probably, there's going to be 4 Bloodline members. Only 1 will have championships. There's going to be 4 Bloodline members, 1 man with 2 belts, instead of 3 men with 6 belts. Do you think Roman's not going to talk mucho shit? Being the fact that he's the only one that still got gold, that kept up his end of the bargain. He's going to be like, look, y'all going to have to prove your worth to me. He said at the press conference, immediately after the shock, the shock heard around the world, that, yeah, what y'all thought? I thought it was going to be that easy. I thought y'all just going to get rid of me. You know, I've run this, rerun this. Yeah, we got issues. We got problems. We need to sort out. And he made a point to say, yeah, we need to sort them out. We got to get shit straight. Alluding to, I got my titles. My cousins don't. Solo did his job. He helped. He didn't say help, but Solo made that victory possible. The Usos came in and got counteracted by KO and Sami. They got neutralized. Trust me, there's little details that you have to pay attention to when it comes to this storyline. It's not just surface. It's not just surface. And he's alluded to that also. Like, look, everybody thinks it's going to be instant. Everybody thinks it's going to be fast food. No. This is filet mignon over here. You got to take your time with this. You got to let it marinate. So that brings me back to what I was saying. Me and main event K are watching it, and the finishing sequence when the Usos came, because I even told her, I actually called it. I called the spots right before they was happening. I told her, I was like, babe, I don't mean to spoil it, but this is 40 years of watching wrestling experience. Usos came out. Okay. They start doing their thing, start getting on Cody. I was like, KO and Sami's going to come out, tussle with them, get them out the picture. Sure enough, KO and Sami came out, tussled with them, got them out the picture. Before they got him out of the picture, KO got his pound of flesh with the stunner, and Sami got his pound of flesh with the haluva kick, and then they got the Usos out the picture. Then this was the turn that I did not expect, and why I'm at last night. I'm like this. Oh shoot! Roman won. Cody started his finishing sequence. He gave him the American Dream elbow. He did the uppercut from Goldust / Dustin Rhodes, where he dropped down, punched him in the face, and then he did the crossroads. And I told main event K, I'm like, he's going to have to do 3 crossroads to beat the tribal chief. 3. He did one earlier for a close 2 count, but I'm like, no. Roman, after damn near 3 years, is not going to lose to 1 crossroad. That was going to happen. Just like he did with Seth, he's going to do 3. 1, 2, 3, and then pin him. He did 1, held on, did the second one. When he let go, like, what the fuck are you doing? I can't fathom, like, why did you let go to do what? You're going to do a disaster kick? That wasn't going to work. What are you going into the corner? What are you going near the ropes for? Solo came back, gave him the Samoan spike, while Paul was distracting the referee. And it became Cody's nightmare when Roman hit him with the spear. 1, 2, 3. Bloodline retains. Now, going forward, like I said, I'm stuck. And I'm like, all right, where do we go? Where do we go now? Where do we go now? Since Roman didn't relinquish the title, didn't lose the title at WrestleMania, he's not losing it at Backlash. Probably wouldn't be wrestling at Backlash. Wait, he's going to lose in Saudi Arabia? No. He's going to lose that Money in the Bank? Nah, because probably the Money in the Bank is going to be the next credible challenger that he has. the next possibility of Roman being dethroned is SummerSlam in August, coincidentally on my birthday in Detroit at Ford Field. There's no guarantee that Roman is going to lose at SummerSlam. You have at least 3 months of storyline, the infighting of the bloodline. Eventually, perhaps, just perhaps, Jay breaking away, or Roman getting rid of Jay for the time being, banishing him from the island of relevancy. How does Paul manipulate in the background, all the while trying to build up another credible challenger, or allowing Cody to start from the back of the line and work his way back up? Me and the boys from GI, we have a DM. We have a chat. And I think I said to them that, you know what this is reminiscent of to a certain degree? Not apples to apples, but it's a little similar to when Becky came back at SummerSlam 2021 to surprise and beat Bianca in 20 seconds or so, or something, 30 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever. And there was such an outcry that Bianca didn't deserve that. Bianca got to get a win back, blah, 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 which the way they did it was effed up. But it also gave Bianca enough wind behind her sails and she says this, I lost. It made me smarter. It made me stronger. It made me better. And I worked my way from the back of the line and worked my way back up. And next time I caught Becky, it was a wrap. And I think that's what they're going to do with Cody. The shock and awe of that crowd. Getting the unexpected. You don't think, let's put it this way, if Cody is the man that everybody believes he's to be, that the company believes him to be, this step back will not be the end of Cody Rhodes. It will only be the beginning. Adrenaline in my soul. Ah! If he's not able to overcome this, if he's not able to still garner the goodwill of the crowd and maintain that and build upon that to be everything, like I said, everything that the company wants him to be. Remember, John Cena gave him the endorsement. If that didn't let you know where they're going with Cody, nothing will. And last thing, before I get into other subjects and try to bow tie this as well as I can. And this is actually big news that I should have said it at the beginning, but oh well. WWE got merged with Endeavor, the owners of the Ultimate Fight Championship, the UFC. Endeavor now owns 51% of WWE, and its shareholders of WWE own 49%. So pretty much they have a controlling interest. But it's more of a merger. And yeah, guess what? WWE is now $9 billion richer, or should I say, shareholders are now $9 billion richer. If you think about it from those terms, if you think about it from strictly business term, not the IWC bitching and moaning like they normally do, because if it's up to the IWC, we would have never had this moment. You want to know why? Because Roman would have lost last September at Clash at the Castle because, how could they let that moment go by? Drew was supposed to win. He should have won. That silence was deafening. Can somebody tell me 6 months later, do you really believe that that Drew McIntyre should have been the champion, should have won that night? I don't believe so. Then repeat it again at Elimination Chamber against Sami. Oh, I can't believe that silence. They're doing everything to try to quote Sami because they want Cody to be the man. Sami should have won a championship. Sami should main event WrestleMania. And in the immediate aftermath, I was one of those that said, yeah, Sami deserved to main event WrestleMania. Look, I'll say it with my chest. But if Sami wins, and of course, especially according to Meltzer and Alvarez of Wrestling Observer, you could have had Sami win and got that moment, and Roman could have won it back 3 weeks later, and you could still do Cody and Roman. But no, the gravitas would have been gone because Sami would have been the one who broke a 2-year plus reign. Cody, if he would have beat Roman, would have beat somebody who just got regained the title 3 weeks prior. It would have went back to WCW days when when they allowed Lex Luger to beat Hulk Hogan that August. In the lead up, the big story was Hulk Hogan and Sting. Year plus reign. It would have been a 1.5 year reign. It got cut off because you had to give Lex Luger the feel-good victory for what? 2 weeks? For Hulk Hogan to regain it at Road Wild. And I'm not even talking about the shenanigans that happened at Starrcade 97. But imagine the gravitas that would have been if Sting would have got that championship after a 1.5 year reign of terror from Hulk Hogan, not a couple months. And, oh, by the way, my best friend just beat him. So if I don't beat him, and of course, he didn't beat him cleanly, at least Lex Luger put that motherfucker in the rack. Sting got a by Bret Hart. Business was never the same. So all this whining and complaining about the IWC, y'all can miss me. I've told y'all in my archives, and I'll tell y'all again in living color. Yeah, this is 1080p, mother effers. Yeah, I stepped it up a level. Anyway, but no, I've told y'all before, I could give a rat's ass about the IWC. I could give a rat's ass about the majority of wrestling fans. I told y'all what I do in the lead up to a big show. I refrain from watching, from reading and being on social media. I refrain from really reading in depth anything that comes from a dirt sheet, from one of the insiders, because I actually want to enjoy the show. There was a time that I was obsessed with all that, and guess what? My enjoyment waned week after week after week after week. All the surprises that was speculated never happened, and guess who was disappointed? I was. Guess who was laughing to the bank? Insiders. So I told myself I would never do that again. Why? I'm a grown-ass man. What do I need their approval for? What do I need? Why do I need to spoil my enjoyment? I don't. But yeah, it's getting tiring. You know how many people I heard when I was watching some of the recap shows yesterday, you know how many people I heard that send in their super chats? Oh, I hate I hate WWE. I'm never watching again. Yeah, all right. I'm quite sure you said that about 7 years ago when they kept on screwing Daniel Bryan over and over and over again, right? Oh, they did it again. Things will never be good. It got to be Vince. So everything that's bad is Vince and everything that's good is Triple H? Or can it be a mix of both? Oh man, they messed up. They should have had Cody win. All right, and then when Cody win, y'all be the same mother effort that 2 or 3 weeks later, or maybe 2 months from now, y'all be like, you know what, Cody getting boring. Yo, where's the next person? Yo, this reign is dry. Oh, they didn't have nobody set up. Y'all be the same people that Alvarez and Meltzer was trying to turn against Cody, saying that pumping, putting the battery in the back of everybody that said, yeah, Sammy was supposed to be the one. Sammy got his happy ending. Because Sami and KO won the tag belts from the Usos. You see that transition? I know it wasn't as smooth, but still it got me to where I need to be. When we talk about stories, I've already discussed about Cody's story. I've already discussed about Roman's story. There's another long story. Not as long as, yeah, pretty much. Sammy in the bloodline. Kevin Owens in the bloodline. Kevin Owens been fighting the bloodline for at least 2+ years. Remember in the Thunderdome era, KO had about 3 main event matches against Roman Reigns. TLC 2020, Royal Rumble. Matter of fact, 2020 TLC. Then they had a New Year's Day edition of SmackDown in which KO and Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship inside a steel cage in which Jay screwed KO. And then the last man standing match at Royal Rumble 2021. So he's been going against the bloodline for years. Sammy, after weaseling his way into the bloodline's good graces, there was always one dissenting voice on whether Sammy should be down. Sammy should be a part of the bloodline. You know who that dissenting voice was? That's right, main event Jay. Jay wasn't messing with Sammy from jump. Roman accepted Sammy. Jimmy, that's my dog, accepted Sammy. Solo, remember when Solo first came apart, and he was having these single matches, and I think Jimmy and Jay was about to accompany him, and Solo's like, nah, Sammy, you come with me. Until Roman put the bug in Solo ear, like, Solo is the enforcer. Solo is the hand of destruction, while Jay was the right hand man until Sammy came along. Sammy was never the right hand man, but Jay knew because Jay was all about family. He's like, look, I had to fall in line. I've had to swallow so much pride for the family, for the betterment of the family. Matter of fact, for the peace of the family, for the protection of my brother Jimmy. There's a lot of things I don't like, I don't mess with my cousin about. I don't appreciate him about. But for the greater good, I'm going to let it rock. I ain't letting it rock. I ain't letting him rock. Until finally, Sami supposedly proved his worth at Survivor Series, and Jay was down. Jay was like, you know what? He put up with all my crap all these months, and he still stayed steadfast until the Royal Rumble, until Sami could not pull the trigger on KO and pulled the trigger on Roman. And Jay was so distraught, Jay had to leave. And Sami was like, I did it for you. I acknowledge you. But there's one thing in this storyline that some people might say, and a lot of people probably don't put two and two together, and I'm going to say it in these terms. Sami had a lot of white privilege. Follow me here. Trust me, I'm not making it a race thing, but follow me. Sami's on some, but you don't have to deal with all this abuse. You know, I wasn't gonna take all this. You know, he crossed over a line, and I was gonna put my brother out of his misery. I was gonna do that. You wish you could have did it. And Jay's like, yeah, I wish I could have did it. But guess what? This is my actual family. He was like, this is my actual family. I can't turn against my family. Because guess what? If I do so, my brother is going to be at risk. And you really think I'm going to choose my brother over you? Over you? No, that wasn't going to happen. Right? That wasn't going to happen. So I'm sorry. This is so unprofessional, but I have to do this. Thank you. All right, now come on. It's me again. What happened? Huh? The lamp's right there. What other one?
The other one that you're using before. I'm sorry.
Probably next to my bed.
Okay, that was it. Sorry.
All right, no problem. Yeah, I'm using her light, so she got to use my light. Shine a light on him. Oh! Shine a light on him. Oh! Yeah, now where was I? Yeah. So Jay finally, when he finally was going to make his decision, because he knew his brother's in peril, when Roman said, yeah, if Jay don't fall in line, you know who I'm blaming? I'm blaming Jimmy. When that happened, Sami was heartbroken, but Sami just couldn't fathom why couldn't Jay break through, because Jay couldn't. Sami had the privilege of walking away because he wasn't family, he wasn't blood. KO called it from the jump. You will never be a part of them because you're not blood. No matter how much they say you're the honorary Uso, you're not blood. So the story that needed to be finished at WrestleMania was not Sami versus Roman. It was Sami versus Jay. And that's what that tag team match, that's why this tag team match had to be the main event of night one, because that was the storyline. Sami and Jay. That's why it could never have been Sami main eventing WrestleMania against Roman, because that wasn't the story. That wasn't the main point. If you really want to get that, to bring brass tacks about it, the story, big picture, has always been Jay and Roman. Roman has made Jay fall in line from the beginning, and Jay has never wanted to be has never wanted to fall in line. Because Jay, remember, it's like, why does it have to be you? Why do you have to be the head of the table? I'm just as good as you. We cousins. What makes you so special? Right? It's it's always been about Jay and Roman. I will say this before I get into the rest, because I know this has been long-winded, but so be it, because I'm having fun. There was multiple times, especially Saturday night, well, night one, that I was very emotional watching various things on night one. And Sami and KO winning the belts from their early beginnings down at PWG, one of the independents or one of the premier independents in California. A lot of people don't realize that Sami and KO were prolific. Was a prolific tag team in PWG and Ring of Honor and so many organizations, federations, associations, what have you, companies. So for them to have their meager beginnings at PWG years ago, that put them on the map, the wrestling map, and to go full circle to this past Saturday at the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania, to win the tag team champions, to dethrone the USOS after a combined 600-day reign. Something to be admired. It's something to be cherished. It's just a moment. It's a moment like none other. None other. And I ain't gonna lie. When they won, I was in my glory. Not so much that it was a very heartfelt moment, to say the least. So kudos to the fact of these intertwined storylines. I done spent almost an hour talking about, and I only talked about 2 matches on a 13 match card over 2 days. I've spent almost an hour speaking about 2 matches because of the intertwining of the storylines. And y'all wanted that to end last night. Y'all wanted it to end because y'all felt that it would have been for the moment. You know how many things that would have been thrown to the side if we were just doing for the moments? One thing that needs to be thrown aside, though, was how John Cena, John Cena did Austin Theory dirty. Yes, Austin Theory retained his United States Championship. Yeah, he retained it. But the whole storyline between John Cena and Austin Theory kind of started from the promo a couple weeks ago on Raw, when John Cena when Austin Theory came out and challenged John Cena to a match for his United States Championship, and John Cena browbeat and talked to him like pure tea crap. Told him, you know what? You're in a lose-lose situation, boy. If you beat me, guess what? I'm not here all the time. The only reason this match is big is because of me. They don't care about you. Nobody cares about you. Without the piped in, um, without the piped in crowd noise, it'd be quiet as a mouse in here. So you beat me, I'm not here to keep you up. I'm not here to keep you propped up. If you lose to me, you know, talk big shit and you couldn't back it up. Either way, you cannot win. And I remember a lot of people was like, yo, what the fuck was that? Not only that, Theory was not allowed to get any comeuppance on John Cena because John Cena only appeared for that one Monday Night Raw. There was no social media back and forth. There was no opportunity for Theory to ever get a modicum of respect back from John Cena. And then you had the match that happened at WrestleMania, which was pretty much like a boring ass match. John Cena, too, which I understand, he's not trying to get injured because he's a movie star now. But he jobbed to Austin Theory. He did not put Austin Theory over. There's a big difference. John Cena did the bare minimum. And to tell you the truth, to be blunt, what I think John Cena did, the reason John Cena came back was twofold. One, because of WrestleMania, he wanted to keep that streak of wrestling at least once a year, even if he's not with the company. Maybe this might have been his swan song because he did do the at the end, like, yeah, y'all not gonna see me no more in this ring. But John Cena's petty. You know what I think John Cena did? The reason he came back, he was like, look, The Rock always been talking about. Yeah, I know. This is over 10 years ago, but trust me, John Cena's petty. The Rock used to always say, I'm back home. WWE always my home. But for 2 consecutive years, The Rock was rumored to come back for Survivor Series 2021, which me and Main Event K attended, and it was built around him, and he didn't show up. And this year, up until January, February, when it finally became official that, The Rock isn't coming for WrestleMania. It's in Hollywood. We were supposed to do it last year. He pushed it off to this year, and this year he just said, I can't do it. You don't think John Cena took pleasure in the fact of, yeah, I'm going to one up The Rock and make time out of my schedule to come back for one match, even though he couldn't even come and his family is at the top of the card? Think about it. Looking back on John Cena, and I used to like John Cena until he just became. But looking back on his career, to me, John Cena has been a fraud from jump. Dr. Thugonomics. He rode the white rapper rate on Wave. He acted like he was from the hood. He had the black scent. He was the person that Vince McMahon was referring to actually talking to when Vince McMahon uttered the N-word. What up, my nigga? He was talking to John Cena. And that's when Booker said, tell me I did not just hear that. Tell me he didn't just say that. Then he went from the white rapper phase to the fake Marine, always having a dog tag. Then, oddly enough, toward his latter days, he developed this Southern Southern accent. And he really had no character whatsoever except for never give up. I wonder how much of him is really real. I would never take anything away from his philanthropy work for Make-A-Wish and everything. But, and you know what? I'm going to refrain from that because I was going to say something and that would be totally unfair. But the majority of John Cena's career has been a fraud. And this last one, where he bigs up and pretty much said, or should I say, the insider said that John Cena was a big Austin Theory guy, Austin Theory fan. Strange way of being a fan when you effectively bury the person that has to keep the ball and run forward after put them 6 feet deep. Yeah, never give up. Never give up your dreams. John Cena. Remember John Cena? Remember Total Bellas? When John Cena wanted to enforce dress up for a dinner in the house, neat freak OCD, and he looked at, I think he wanted Brian Danielson, pretty much Brian, to dress up to come downstairs for dinner. He was the type that if you put your glass on the table, he's running around. Where's the coaster? That is the true John Cena. John Cena's always been the heel. Rhea Ripley. Speaking of heels, Rhea Ripley defeats Charlotte Flair for the title. Charlotte garnered my respect on Saturday. And I'll say it like this. 3 years ago, when these two women fought over the NXT Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley lost to Charlotte. There was no reason why Charlotte needed the NXT Championship, but to just put another notch on her belt. She went down to NXT and proceeded to beat everybody that she went against while she was in NXT as the champion. And then when the triple threat, guess what? She wasn't even the one that got pinned. Rhea got pinned when Io won the championship. So she beat the champion, Rhea, who had the big cojones to challenge her, like, why don't you come after my championship? And couldn't even drop it back to her on the way out. Nothing was gained. Everything was lost. Momentum was lost. Rhea was lost for years. Then when they called Rhea back up to the main roster, she had no character. She beat Asuka. Then she had another little feud with Charlotte in which she lost to Charlotte multiple times. And then she was left floundering until last year, until she became part of the Judgment Day. Edge's original Judgment Day. She became the Eradicator. She became a force like none other in the women's division, not wrestling women. She was the muscle for the Judgment Day. She was the bodyguard for the Judgment Day. The combination of her and Dominic Mysterio elevated both of them, but it worked because of the dominant nature of Rhea Ripley. And the chicken shit heel, Dominic, played well off of his mommy, Rhea Ripley. Charlotte was gone for almost a year. She came back. She lost what? She lost the no holds barred against Ronda Rousey. lost the championship, took time off to recuperate, just get her head together, get some injuries taken care of, get some time off. She came back on a surprise SmackDown, I believe, the beginning of the year, beat Ronda for the championship, and tell you the truth, they've been floundering since. She came back as a face. Everybody knows Charlotte is not a face. Charlotte will never be a good face. Charlotte is a natural heel. So when Rhea won the Royal Rumble, everybody thought, yeah, the best match would be Rhea versus Bianca. In hindsight, that's probably a good thing that wasn't Rhea versus Bianca, because I believe it was Rhea versus Bianca. Regardless, Rhea was winning that championship. And as we'll get to very, very soon, the EST, there's always an EST in WrestleMania. Bianca is the EST in WrestleMania, 3 years running. But we'll get to that in a minute. The reason I say Charlotte gained my respect fully, when me and Main Event K attended Survivor Series 2021 in the Barclays Center, that piece of crap center, but in the Barclays Center, in the borough of Brooklyn. The opening match was Charlotte versus Becky. Now, I was a Becky fan. I never particularly cared for Charlotte. I respected her as a wrestler, but never really cared for Charlotte. So anybody Charlotte was going to go against, except for Ronda. Even for Ronda, I just didn't want, because I'm tired of seeing Charlotte with the belt. What is Charlotte without the belt? Nothing, in my opinion. Well, the way they framed her, Charlotte has no story if she's not the champion. Right? So Charlotte came back, won the championship, and was floundering up until Rhea pretty much picked her for her revenge. Like, you know what? Everybody thought I was going to pick Bianca. No, I'm going to pick you because I'm Rhea Bloody Ripley. And I need to be a star. I need to beat you, Charlotte. I need to be the SmackDown Women's Champion. I don't know why I got to sounding half Jamaican. I don't know. All my accents. I swear, I think I have a fake Jamaican accent, and I have a nice Russian accent that I don't feel like doing right now. Because my Russian, my German sounds similar. So, so when this match was made, I'm not gonna lie, I was afraid that Rhea was going. I was hoping that Rhea was going to get the belt, but I didn't know exactly how they were going to do it. I didn't know if Charlotte was really going to put her over. And this match on Saturday was so hard hitting. It really got me into it. It was almost like a Japanese style match, and they were laying it in. And in ring wise, to me, was the best match of night one in ring wise. The crowd was pulling for Rhea because number one, they wanted a title change. Number two, her character is caught on so much that it's naturally likable for her to be so dominant, so confident, the alpha, if you will. At the end, and when I say they put on a show, they put on a match, Charlotte definitely had her working boots on, opposite of what John Cena was doing. Charlotte, you could tell Charlotte was fully engrossed in the moment. You could tell Charlotte was about her business, and Charlotte went in there. She knew she was dropping it, but she was like, you know what? We felt that we should main event night one, and both of them had that chip on their shoulder that they were going to put on a show. They were going to have pride in the product they was putting on. And when the smoke cleared and Charlotte got pinned, 1, 2, 3. They flashed to Charlotte on the ground. And she's looking up and she's supposed to be hitting out of sight, but camera found her. And she's looking up at Rhea while Rhea's celebrating. And you could just see the joy in Rhea Ripley's face of, yes, I finally did it. And Charlotte giving her the clap. But it wasn't like, yeah, you got it. It was like, yeah, we did the damn thing. And it could have been very easy for Charlotte to go through the motions and say, you know what, I'm losing this belt. I really don't want, I don't want to. I feel like I'm not getting my just due. I'm not getting my just respect. I'm going to do the bare minimum. No, she put Rhea Ripley over, which she deserved to do. And for that, for as much flack that I give Charlotte, because it seems like it's always just about her. It's always about, what about me? What about my shine? Why am I not a part of this? For once, to me, that was, I'm going to make someone. I'm going to bring somebody up to my level. Maybe something I should have did 3 years ago. And for that, I give her the respect. But there's one last thing. They need, both of these divisions need to be shooken up, and shooken up like this. Charlotte needs to go to Raw. Becky needs to go to SmackDown. Because right now, neither one of them have any they have no stories. The champion, on both sides, it would be a rerun. Everybody's looking for Charlotte versus Bianca. And Becky and Rhea had a eye-to-eye, face-to-face a couple weeks ago when it was Rhea versus Bayley, and they gave each other like, yeah, down the road. That can only happen unless they do a belt swap, and we know what happened last time they did a belt swap when it came to the women. Next draft, somehow, some way, Becky needs to go to SmackDown, Charlotte needs to go to Raw. So, Charlotte, respect. Rhea, hopefully she has a nice, long reign. Long live the Eradicator. Now, the other women's match for the Raw Women's Championship, the EST, Bianca Belair, retained against the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, Dark Asuka, kind of Asuka, if you will. In a very, very back and forth match. There was times that I really thought that Asuka was going to win. The finishing sequence when Asuka kept on going for the armbar, and Bianca was reversing into roll-ups, and then that would be reversed back into an armbar, and finally the armbar was maneuvered in a way that Bianca KO'd the hell out of Asuka, and it all started with the mist. Asuka blew the mist. Bianca's like, you really tried to spit at me? Wow. And then they started the sequence, and Bianca did the thing. The one thing that I have to say, and it's one of the things that I wrote down because I really wanted to make sure I got this out, because there really wasn't much else to say about the match. Yeah, people would say, yeah, Asuka should have won, but no. I can see why, but Asuka right now is there to have good matches, and to be that steadying force. Asuka is not the one to dethrone Bianca. The person that needs to dethrone Bianca when that time comes is somebody on the come up, not somebody that's been there for a while and doesn't really need to win, because that's going to detract from everything that Bianca has achieved over the last 3 years. But this is what I need to write, what I wrote down. Bianca and Asuka's match was different than the Rhea and Charlotte match, but it was just as impactful. Especially Bianca Belair's entrance. She had the dancing troupe, the dancing divas of Compton, dance on the stage before she came out to her song. It brought a tear to my eye to see a portion of our culture being represented. Bianca Belair always makes sure that we are always seen and heard. And she's such a role model for our youth. Someone on the pre-game, somebody on the pre-show said that she's the female version of John Cena, which I can see. But to me, the difference is she's truly authentic in what she represents and uplifting because of all the hurdles that she's literally overcome. Quick tidbit: the dancing troupe, Dancing Divas of Compton, guilty pleasure of mine. And even though this isn't part of the Hidden Gems after show, this is probably something that I probably would have said on Hidden Gems when it comes to shows that I watch that somebody be like, huh? Years ago, me and my wife used to watch Bring It on, I believe, the Lifetime channel with Diana, with the dance troops, the dancing divas. Yeah, we used to watch. So there's a lot of these dance troops throughout the country that I'm familiar with through watching the show with my wife. So when they said the Dancing Divas of Compton, I'm like, I already knew what to expect. It's part of our culture. Just like last year, I think she came out to was it? I don't know if it was Morehouse or Howard, the band. Pretty much the black colleges. She's always representing our culture. She's always representing and being unapologetically black. And for that brought a tear to my eye. Just the fact that she, like I said, just for the role model that she is, for what she represents. She had all the kids had the ponytail, and they were incorporating the ponytail in the dance as Roar is starting to come on, and I really needed and wanted for this show to drop before Roar came on, but so be it. So this will be your Roar aftertaste. But yeah, there's not enough that could be said about what Bianca does. And I wish I could have this on the background, but if I had this on the background, whatever chance to get monetized will be down the drain. So, can't do it. Anyway, Gunther in night 2 retained the IC championship against the tandem of Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. Sheamus going for his first IC championship to make him It's not a triple crown. Damn. Grand Slam champion? Yeah, I think it's Grand Slam champion. Do you know that The Miz is a Grand Slam champion not once but twice? And Sheamus is just having that IC championship just elude him. And the backdrop of this story was Gunther. He didn't fear neither one of them, but he was like, look, I should go one-on-one. Why should my title be in jeopardy if these two morons happen to pin each other and I'm not pinned and I lose my championship? Sheamus was pissed off because him and Drew had formed a friendship, had formed a bond, and he felt that Drew should have fell back because he knew how important winning the IC championship was going to be, and he called Drew McIntyre a backstabbing bastard. And Drew is pretty much like, look, I need some goal in my life, so I'm not going to let you stand in my way of getting the title. Hard-hitting, best in-ring of night 2. They'll be scarred forever. Well, they'll be scarred for at least a couple days because, man, they was chopping the shit out of each other. It was a very hard-fought match. And worth, what, I think it was 14 minutes. Hard-hitting. The chops sounded like gunshots. Boom, boom. Especially Drew. Drew got some underrated chops, if I do say so myself. But yeah, as you can tell, I've been sitting in one place for the longest, and I am starting to cramp up because your boy Mike is getting the arthritis is kicking in. So yeah. Now, the best of the rest, the highs and lows. The 4-way tag team match between the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders and the Alpha Academy and Ricochet and Braun was a great sprint. They did put the spotlight on Chad Gable. Chad Gable doing the Chaos Theory German to Braun Strowman was a sight to behold. And Dawkins blowing Braun up when Braun was doing the runaround, the tackle runaround. When I say Dawkins blew him up, Street Profits, I won't say they need to break up. No. Just like New Day never broke up. It's just each of them is besides Xavier. Matter of fact, Xavier had a small single run because he just wanted to be king of the ring. Street Profits need to go single. Everybody's expecting Montez Ford to be out of here to the sky, and I do agree, but don't sleep on Dawkins. Don't sleep on Dawkins. Dawkins has gotten in great shape. He's added to his repertoire. Dawkins could very well be a U.S. championship contender. Don't sleep on him. But yeah, that was a pretty good, entertaining match. The Seth Rollins Logan Paul match. And I'm watching Monday Night Raw, and I guess they got Triple H coming out to start the show, I guess, to announce the sale. You know, I can't, like I said, I can't put the the sound up or so much, but I'll give y'all play by play as I try to get through the rest of this rundown. because I'm already at an hour and 40 minutes by myself. Go figure. Yeah, I know. I'll run off at the mouth like. But yeah, the Logan Paul Seth Rollins match. Seth Rollins defeated Logan Paul. Logan Paul had KSI in his corner, whoever the hell KSI is. I'm sorry, I'm not that familiar with all these social media personalities, but he's part of the Logan Paul clique. I think they had a boxing match at the very beginning of the Logan Paul arc. So, he was well known to some people, not known to me. But yeah, he was integrated into the match in which Logan Paul was trying to splash Seth Rollins on the outside table, and Seth Rollins pulled KSI in the way and splattered him and put him in the ring and gave him the stomp and stomped Logan Paul out of his misery. Good match. Good match. The 6-woman tag team match between Trish Stratus, luscious self, Lita, and Becky Lynch, the man of the masses, which I take offense to because everybody know I'm the blue collar hero of the masses and the weirdos. I've been saying that for years. So I think we got somebody, just somebody, listening to the salty thoughts of Mike Steph, the man of the masses. That ain't a ripoff if I heard one. Just for that. Anyway, they went against Damage Control, the team of Becky Lynch, Dakota Kai, and Io. Io showed out, but unfortunately, Becky's team took the loss as usual. Did y'all really think that Trish, Lita, and Becky were going to take the loss? Even though I know Lita did a better job than she's done in the past, but some of those moves, they're either in slow motion or I'm just afraid that she's going to break her freaking neck over again. I don't know. Something got to give. Something got to give. Hopefully, either tonight, Friday on SmackDown, or in the very foreseeable future, Becky and Lita will drop those championships to a more deserving team. I swear, like I said, I wish I could turn this up. Brock Lesnar, the minority killer, defeated Omos in the opener of night 2. Omos was busting Brock's ass for at least 2 minutes until Brock finally got his wits about him, gave Omos a couple of German suplexes, which looked impressive. And he did get Omos on top of his shoulders and F5'd him for the victory. Did anybody really expect Brock Lesnar to actually lose to a minority? I swear. And I'll say this and I'll go on record. If Roman Reigns had an ounce of black blood in his body, do you think Roman Reigns would have ever got one victory? Roman Reigns, for those who don't know, half Italian, half Samoan. I guess being affected Roman Reigns is on the lighter shade. Brock is willing to overlook the Samoan part and give him a victory. And here it just came to my mind. And you want to know why? You want to know why I feel like that's true? Did The Rock ever get his win back over Brock Lesnar? The Rock is half black, half Samoan. Brock didn't do the honors for The Rock. I'm telling you, you got a drop of black blood in you. Brock coming for you. What you gonna do when the Brock with the triple K? It's coming for you. When does the gave me that which guy gave me that idea because he's a genius. Brock with the triple K. But yeah, it was what it was. It was going to be 5 minutes. It's going to be a sprint. You're going to have some phenomenal feats of strength, and that was going to be it. That was going to be it. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little blurry-eyed. The last couple matches, we had the Fatal 4-Way tag team match with the females, with the women, Liv and Raquel, Liv Morgan and Raquel Gonzalez, Raquel Rodriguez versus Chelsea Green, and Sonya Deville versus Shotzi, and Natalya versus Ronda and Shayna. Ronda and Shayna won. I think both of them was injured. Ronda acted like, I know Ronda was injured, and Ronda came in, did one move, which was the armbar, 1, 2, 3, and they'll probably be set up for to dethrone Becky and Lita. And my eyes are burning for some reason. I don't know why. So I apologize. This is not optimum, but I'm going to fight through. And last but not least, and this is another thing that I'm glad I got into, where I have to get into for a little bit. Edge, Brood Edge to be exact, defeated the Demon, Finn Balor, in Hell in a Cell. That was shorter than I'm quite sure Edge wanted it, because Edge liked doing those hours. But Brood Edge just be fiending for alter ego. It would be one thing if Brood Edge was part of the Brood. He was never really Brood Edge. It was him and Christian and Gangrel. They were the Brood. He didn't come out to the Brood music. He didn't do no bloodbath. There's no such thing. And this disco ball type mask that he had on, helmet he had on, what the fuck was that? Brood Edge? There's no such thing as a Brood Edge. There is such thing as a demon. Demon Finn Balor. Unfortunately, the demon needs to be retired because the last 2 times the demon came out, the demon was made to look like a total fool. So, I have no idea what's going to go on. I have no idea how we're going to progress from the Edge versus Judgment Day feud that's been going on for last year. It was cut short because Finn Balor got his head split open from an errant ladder shot when Edge threw the ladder on Finn Balor. And they brought up the attention after they actually come to find out they actually have to give him staples inside his head. I mean, inside the cell, which was crazy for him to finish the match. So salute to Finn Balor. Edge, I mean, it's not his fault, but he kept on getting injured. His feuds I really haven't really liked any of his rivalries since the Seth Rollins rivalry that he had going on almost a year and a half ago. And prior to that, the Roman Reigns rivalry. And the head of the table is now in your city. Yeah, Roman Reigns is on Raw. So, I don't know what is going to, what we're going to get at when it comes to Edge or the Judgment Day, but something's going to have to give. And last but not least, Rey Mysterio finally put Dom in his place. Rey Mysterio, who was inducted to the Hall of Fame, put Dominic Mysterio in his place, gave him the spanking that he deserves, and Dominic is reminiscent of Tariq on Power, Ghost, Power Book 2, some ungrateful bastard that don't respect his pops And finally, his pops had enough of it and bust that ass. Long time overdue, long time coming, but Ray finally did the damn thing, even though Dom's entrance was hilarious. Dom is supposed to be some hardened criminal. He came out, the Department of Corrections had to drive him out in the van and had to unlock had to take his handcuffs off. It was hilarious. So yeah, So that is the conclusion of Mike Steph's first annual off the top WrestleMania recap. Yeah. The spousal chief was doing the damn thing. I had to try. You know, it took some going. It took some getting to. But I got it in. You know, and now I'm gonna have to put a bow on this. But before I put a bow on this, listen to what my boy got to say about me.
I am the Mojo King, and I am here to support my brother's podcast and all of his salty thoughts. Alright, let's not say all of his salty thoughts, maybe 90%. He's a bit of a wild man. I am also here to plug my 3 podcasts. Yes, 3 of them. Hidden Gems Golf is a quick 10 to 12 minute pod where I talk long shots on the PGA Tour. Long shots mean big money when they pay off. There is also Hip Hop Hidden Gems, where historian William Freeman and I discuss songs and or artists who deserve more shine. We talked about Big Daddy Kane, Gangstar, Chino XL. We have a West Coast legend coming up. We even featured a little R&B and soul for Valentine's Day. It's a little bit nostalgia and a whole lot of fun. That's Hip Hop Hidden Gems. Lastly, but not leastly, is Hidden Gems Football. That is where me and the great Donnie Yu discuss upcoming NFL action. You already know how Donnie gets down with his spicy takes.
What are you doing? There's no more Donnie Yu.
I'm doing an ad for the salty thoughts of Donnie Yu.
No, not Donnie Yu. The salty thoughts of Mike Steph.
What are you talking about? Who the is Mike Steph? And by the way, Hidden Gems Football is the Mojo King and
Mike Steph.
What? What are you? Nah, I'm out. Screw this.
Hello? And back to you, Mike Steph.
This is bullshit.
Once again, I'd like to thank and I truly appreciate my bro, the Mojo King and the Mojo Queen, for giving me that nice commercial advertising his Hidden Gems entities and advertising my rebranding of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph. I'd like to thank you. I appreciate you dearly. Now, before I get out, I got to get out of here before the 2-hour mark because, like I said, it is what it is. I'd like to give a couple plugs, shout outs to the following. My boys at the Gimmick and Friendship Podcast, Winchester and McDowell, or Winchester and McDowell. Gimmick and Friendship. Check them out because they double dipped this week. They gave y'all not 1, but 2 episodes recapping both nights of WrestleMania in their own unique way. Check them out on the YouTube page of the 19 Media Group. Check them out on all streaming platforms wherever podcasts are available. Check them out and drop them a line. Check out gimmickinfringement.com, where they drop articles on whatever the hell they feel like dropping. But regardless, give them a shout out, drop by, and let them know that Mike Steph sent you. Shout out to my bros from the BRP Live, the Black Wrestling Podcast, each and every Thursday on the YouTube page of Black Wrestling. Check out Cal, Fan, Drip, Mimi, the homie Math. Check them out each and every Thursday, 8:35 for BRP Live. Check out the Patreon/Black Wrestling. Pay the 1 or pay the 10. Just check them out and let them know that Mike Steph sent you. And last but not least, check out my bro, Body More Bottles on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Check out Baltimore's #1 alcohol reviewer. Matter of fact, fuck that. The #1 alcohol reviewer in all of YouTube. Number one with liquors. Number one with spirits. Number one with cocktail. Number one with beers. Number one with everything. Check out my bro, Body More Bottles on YouTube. Like and subscribe. What the fuck? You heard me? Yeah. And last but not least, definitely last but not least, check out me. Yeah, I mean, I know you're checking me out now on the YouTube, and hopefully you're checking me out on the audio version, the flagship, the mothership, if you will. The Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph, available on all streaming platforms wherever podcasts are available. Yeah, that's right. I said all streaming platforms, all streaming platforms, all streaming platforms, wherever podcasts are available. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor.fm, amongst others. New episodes drop on Monday. Yeah. Even though I'm doing this as Monday Night Raw is starting and the American Nightmare has come out to confront the Tribal Chief, guess best believe this episode will drop before Monday ends. Hopefully. So, with all that being said, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for your support. Episode 5 is in the books. Episode 5 will be live later on. And next week, hopefully I will actually talk about some sports. You hear me, Smitty, from the group home in Bergen Beach? I might actually talk about the New York Metropolitans. Just might. Don't hold me to it, though. I have no idea what I'm going to do. But the only way you can find out what I'm going to talk about is by tuning in. So tune in on streaming platforms and tune in on YouTube. Yes, if you're watching me on YouTube, you know where to find me. If you don't, if you're listening to me, check me out on the YouTube page of Mike Steph, at Mike Steph to be exact, I think. So regardless, I'm rambling. That means it's time for me to go. And I will speak to y'all next week. Same Mike Steph time, same Mike Steph channel. Goodbye. Here I go again. I keep on forgetting. I got to press it not once, but twice.